Day 3, Friday, begins now. Waiting for the purple line. There was no line. We are number 1, but there is no bus, so we are not number 1. Crossing over for Day 3, Friday. It's not as hot as it was previous days. That doesn't mean it's not still oppressively hot. Seeing a little bit more cosplay today. Tomorrow will be the big day. And of course, now that I decided to film, there's not a ton. Well, there's some Zorro-looking people, but I saw an 80s Dazzler and a few other things. And the religious protesters are starting to show up, and also the counter-protesters. Over here you can see some cosplayers. This is the line where they have to get their prop weapons and stuff checked and inspected, which is how it always is. So a lot of people are talking about wanting more security. I don't think know that we already had this sort of thing going on. Well, this is lucky. I just picked the door at random to go in, and Nickelodeon is the first place I wanted to go to try to get an Usagi Yojimbo figure, and it's right in front of me. See? Oh, gee, look at that. I wonder who lives in that big pineapple under the sea. I have no idea. And there's the Usagi Yojimbo figure, which is sold out immediately again. So we'll try it tomorrow, first thing in the morning. The BBC America booth, they've got a cool Dalek people are taking pictures with. I'm not going to do that right now. I was kind of bummed. They have a bunch of exclusives and things like that, but no 5-inch figures for Capaldi or the new Doctor or any exclusives, which they've had in the past. So I guess the good news is I can skip it. And I'm going to go to Blizzard to meet up with Q, who is trying to get some Overwatch stuff. This is the Weta Workshop booth. They've always got cool stuff to look at, robot props and suits and things, but mostly what they sell, it seems like art books, and I don't know. I always look, but I never buy. They're hyping the Justice League movie. Here's some spinning cube. I don't know what that is, but maybe it's like the Ultimate Nullifier or the Cosmic Cube from Marvel, because they've been trying to copy Marvel's success for a while. I don't actually know that. I'm just being a jerk. And I'm really in a bad walking position right now. Ha! Look, I'm in the right lane, guys. Speaking of Overwatch, there's a pretty good McCree. He's the cowboy attack character from Overwatch. This is cool. I saw this yesterday, but the artists weren't actually here working on it. I think the one on the right is that anybody could come color is what it seems, and the one on the left is a comic artist doing a piece for Mass Effect, I think it is. Yes, Mass Effect. Ron Chan creates the first original piece of Blizzard. So that's pretty cool. Started a little later today. We've been here about an hour. Been striking out. Blizzard is sold out of things for the entire show that Q wanted to get. The entire show. That I never understand. Usually they allocate a certain amount each day, so you have another chance at least. Similarly, at Bluefin there was some Sailor Moon stuff that we wanted to get. That is sold out for the show. So what we're doing now is at Entertainment Earth to get a Commander Gree figure for the big dog. Well, it's not as hot as it was, but the sweat is back once again. It wasn't immediate. Took a half hour to an hour, but it's here to stay, and it's dripping down my neck like a lovely. And now we are in the small press area. Over near the, I guess this is considered the small press area, 1900. This aisle is very wide, and I guess it's because it's like an emergency fire exit. So I wonder if this is better or worse for the vendors here, because there's more room to breathe, but people aren't forced to look at your stuff, which is Jackie Huang. And Q is getting some of her art. What's interesting is, if you look at it, they're prints, but they're photos of actual cut paper shadow box dioramas, but it's smart to then make prints of it using, I guess, photography. Here's actual Artist Alley, not Artist Alley, Small Press Alley kind of row. You can see the normal width over here. A lot of nice booth setups, but I've been noticing that Artist Alley seems to be a lot more crowded with people buying, looking, pushing. And here in Small Press, which I was thinking might be the better place to go if I ever did a table here, doesn't seem as busy. So I don't know what that means, if it's just a time of day thing, or if as you know the saying goes, nobody wants comics at Comic-Con. What I've thought about doing is splitting a booth. I like what they have here. They have 3 artist banners and then 3 racks, and I guess to take turns running it, but the display is really nice, and it shows how you could split a booth and still have your own identity and not be crammed on top of each other. This is another setup that you see often, really high to the sky, but they're sort of hung by like tape. Like if there's no actual physical, because I build a wall behind me, but not that tall. And I go back and forth between getting a big setup like that or getting rid of all of it, having one banner and a book full of prints. You know?
Wait, what is this?
This is the 3A booth. You can see they have Optimus Prime. This is like a high-end, it doesn't transform. There's a high-end toy company that does a lot of mechs and robots and things like that. They have some license, but then they have their own stuff, as you can see back there. And I always like what they do. I've never purchased it though because it's prohibitive, but they have these 2 robots here that come with cats that I'm sure Q wants very much so. Over here in the small press, there's a few people that have vintage used toy stuff, kind of like more like toy show stuff I normally go to. But I would say do not buy toys here from that sort of vendor, because they are always more expensive.
than you would get almost anywhere else.
Here's the Mondo booth. They have a few toys and sculptures, but they're mainly known for their artistic reinterpretations of classic posters. As you can see, Jaws, things like that. Even modern ones like Pacific Rim or the new Godzilla. I think they do really good work. Their posters are expensive to begin with, and then they are hard to get. So if you don't get them, then the price goes crazy, basically. There's somebody who's cosplaying. I don't know what this is. A big blue. What? I don't know what that is. Over here, you can see they have the exclusive Power Ranger covers, and they are modeled after the Jim Lee X-Men 1 cover from the 90s, and I thought about getting them. They're all identical, just have different covers. $20 each retail. Or you could get the one that has all 4, and it's $100. It pretty much annoyed me. Like, I thought it would be a fun little thing to get. I'm not an investor, and $20 should be the aftermarket price, not the retail. I'm at the show price. And this is something I've seen happening more and more where print publishers are charging aftermarket prices for their variants, and I don't like it. Another fortuitous timing, we'd seen people at the Viz Media booth, and they have this Boruto free poster tube, which is good because we just bought a bunch of prints but didn't bring a poster tube today. And we were saying, when are you going to give these away? And basically the line opened up, and now we're online for the free poster and tube from Viz Media. So that's good. It's a little after 2, and we are taking a break. We pretty much hit all of Artist Alley, got a bunch of art prints, things like that. Didn't really get many exclusive, but picked up a few non-exclusive things we were looking for. And we're going to get lunch. That's all I'm trying to say. And we're heading into the downtown. It is warm. It's not as warm as it's been, but it's still warmer than anybody wants it to be. And the crowds are starting to build. The Friday crowd is officially here. We're going to try to go to the Sci-Fi Cafe, which is a diner that just puts on a theme every year, usually with Sci-Fi Network being the partner. Hopefully the wait won't be long. Sweat. Looks like they're advertising Shark Week. If you want a free Shark Week bag, I don't think I do, but So right now I am at, essentially it's the Sci-Fi Cafe. They're branding it Archangel and some other shows. It's a diner that we've come to just about every year, and it's always branded. Now they're at the Gamer Lounge. They got this cool thing behind me. You can see advertising stuff. Everything's branded, but really it's just easy food that anybody can find something they like, and it's right in downtown. So it's a half-hour wait at least, which is actually also not that bad. So we're gonna do this, and then I might do some of the off-site stuff. You guys sat down pretty quick, actually, much less than the half hour they had said. But a lot of people were called and didn't come, so I think people put their name in and left. As you can see, the wall is branded with this Pwned game, which is being played behind me. As you can see, there's actually consoles set up right here, and I think there's some kind of tournament with some famous gamers, because a lot of people are taking pictures and getting autographs. I don't know who they are, but lots of other people are quite excited. So I apparently have a very good seat. I am very excited and happy. Why? Because I decided to take a bathroom break. Mainly to wash my hands, but also to just take a bathroom break. Because I've been touching a lot of dirty stuff, and I'm going to be eating food with my hands. And I hate using the bathroom here. It's a joined bathroom with the Hard Rock Cafe and with the hotel, and they usually have a bathroom attendant, which is the worst job in the world, because I hate them. So I kind of snuck in and was washing my hands, and I realized there's no attendant. I don't know if it's today, I don't know if it's this minute, I don't know if they've got rid of it. I'm so happy I didn't have to deal with it, that it was probably the best thing that happened all day. This is the backside of the diner I'm in. You can see they have people set up, I think it's a Kinect or some other virtual headset, and they have a game set up that people are playing. You could wait online to try it out. Here it is from the other side. They have a nice big screen so we can see what they're looking at, but obviously they're playing that way. So I think that's Skydance Interactive's Archangel. I guess the game is Archangel. Salt fries and veggie chili. The two greats that great to great. Looks like History Channel is doing some kind of Viking parade down the street. Yeah. There's the Vikings in their traditional parade next to the white San Diego police van with a lookout tower. Oh look, somebody's taking a nap on their shoulders. What is that weird? I don't know if that's a dog or a bird or what that is. Oh my god, here's a horrifying Conan O'Brien. That is terrifying. That's terrifying. Oh, that's awesome. Excuse me. That's an awesome Demogorgon. Moving down an aisle, a road. It's a road because we're not in a city. And looking for a Tick pop-up shop event thing around here somewhere. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go to Skeletor's Lair, which are both off-site, and then just try to do a lot of stuff outside of the convention center now that it's later and I'm not missing as much and it's not as hot out. That cop car down there is a Gotham Police cop car, and it was playing the old Adam West theme song. Oh, look over here to the right. See the Mr. Robot shop? They had this last year. I ended up waiting online to get into it for a very long time, and I had a cool replica of the apartment and stuff like that. It looks like now it's setting up like it's closed, but there's a grand opening for Evil Core, the Bank of E. That's pretty cool, and the line doesn't look bad. I'm gonna go take a look. So I was wrong about there being no line. This is the line. Now, actually, the line I waited in last year was much longer, but I did it and it was terrible, and I think it's probably a different experience this time, but I don't think I want to do the same thing again. All right, so I spent some time looking around 4th and J to find this tick experience thing, but apparently it's actually on 1st and J. So now I'm walking down 1st and J. I also took to spray my face, neck, arms, legs, and every other piece of flesh. Oh, I just got hit with a rock. There is apparently an angry squirrel. And now I'm not going to be sunburned. I'll just be pelted by things from angry squirrels. All right, that's Jay in 2nd. Jay in 1st looks up here. I can see some Teen Titan balloon heads and a bunch of other indications that there's events. Ooh, that blue is what we're looking for. All right, moving in. Been online almost a half hour, and this is the inside. They're billing it as a rest lounge. Like, really, we want to get the hats that everybody's wearing, but there's shade, and they give you water, and you can charge, and you can watch an episode of the show. So it's a nice little break that I will not be taking advantage of, unfortunately. All right, so here I am on the inside. I got a set of headphones, another free water, and I guess you get this wristband and you scan things and it makes things happen. I'm not sure. That's the hat I want. That's the real reason we're here. So inside, in addition to being able to kind of chill out, there's like 3 little surveys you need to take with this wristband. If you do those and then take a tick picture and tag it with social media, that is how you unlock the hat exclusive. So that is what I'm doing, which means that I got a rest even though I didn't want one. So good for them taking care of me. Back out on the street, I successfully ticked it. I got an iPhone case. They asked me if I wanted for a 6 or a 7. I have a 6, but I'm gonna upgrade to a 7, and it'd be sad to lose it because it's a nice neoprene kind of thing. Anyway, I also got this hat, which is the main thing I wanted, which is pretty good. I haven't worn a hat in years, but I gotta wear it backwards because I'm a cool, rad 90s kind of guy. What's this? Some sort of drum line, and Rogue walks by. They're like, we're yellow drums. A lot of times stuff like this happens and you don't know what it's for. Like right now. It actually says drumline. I have no idea what that's for. It's just drums. Unless there's a movie or a show called Drumline, I don't know what that's for. I said this before and I'll say it again. I love the branding. I love just the way everything is festive. I know some people think it's crass commercialization, and objectively it is, but I enjoy it. There's some kind of, I think it's Fear the Walking Dead, maybe? I'm not sure what it is. Oh, Walking Dead Encounter. I'm not going to wait online for this, but it exists. That's kind of cool. They have Walking Dead pinball machines and like a shooting game, like a little mini arcade. That actually interests me more than whatever the other stuff was. But again, I imagine the line is ridiculous and I'm off to do other things, but there you get to see that it exists. I've shared it with you. You've seen it as much as I have. Over here is sort of the middle, directly across from the convention center. Right there is sort of the archway into the main row where all the food and things are. If you look here, that's the convention center. And right here, they always have stuff up in this building. This is a Netflix thing. We're doing Stranger Things, Bright, and Defenders. I have been coming here, I think 7, 8 years. I've never gone up and done that. I don't know why. There's always a line and it always seems like something I don't want to bother with. I think I'm gonna go back in the convention hall. I just decided that right now. Back on the show floor, I went and checked with Hasbro. They were letting people with non-tickets online, but once again, sold out of Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is the only thing I still need. So that was a happy followed by a sad. Here's another shot of the Sideshow Gentle Giant booth. They've had this giant Boba Fett a few years now, but it's always pretty cool to see, towering over everyone. I'm heading over to the Bandai booth now to see if there's any Power Ranger stuff I can get without a ticket. Probably not, but you never know. Yeah, so talking to the security guard and everything, and they wouldn't give me any Bandai Power Ranger stuff. You got to come in the morning. They never sell them after. There's no other way. Told me that twice. Saw some guys walking away, and they had one of the Power Ranger figures, not the one I wanted. And I was like, hey, because sometimes you get extra tickets. Do you have an extra ticket? Maybe you want to give me, sell me for the other stuff? And they said, well, what did you want? I said, the Megazord. They said, oh, you could just get those. I'm like, what do you mean? And there was a woman there that if you asked, had a few extra tickets. I got it. Look at that. Just when all was darkest, the Ranger love shone on me.
I am not a big fan of Hot Wheels or cars in general, but I do kind of like these Star Wars branded droid ones especially. And while I wouldn't want a small Hot Wheels of this, I would actually like a large one. I could wear it as a shoe. There's Deadpool's butt. There's my finger. Oh God, imagine if that was an actor and I thought it was a mannequin. I wish I could have a setup like this in my house. It doesn't even matter what game it is, it just looks awesome as a big wall. Look how big that is. Wouldn't you want that in your house? Just playing whatever? I don't care, Pong. It's hard to see, but this is Art of Overwatch, huge poster. I assume they're selling a book of it? I don't know. It'd be great to get a poster of it though. And over there's a Tracer, just a giant Tracer and Winston hanging out like best buds. Check this out, I'm over at the Dark Horse booth and I saw this art and I'm like, that looks pretty cool. What is that for? Oh, it's an Aliens book. I'm not huge into Aliens comics, but I really like the art. And then I looked up James, I'm gonna say this wrong, Stocco. He did a Godzilla comic I really like. He's done other stuff, so I'm probably gonna get that. I enjoy his writing and his art, and I didn't know he was doing that book. So good job, Comic-Con, and these people are going into the art I like. I came over here all excited to see these BPRD figures, and from a distance they looked cool, and then I got close and they're pretty blobby. I imagine this is some sort of, I don't know, I guess it's like a retro aesthetic on purpose. They just look terrible. They look like bootleg terribles. That's pretty crazy. They have a Hateful Eight figures of Sam Jackson and Kurt Russell. I forget the names of their characters, but you know, for the kids. Boy, I bet you all wish you were with me so you could thrill to the excitement of being near the Marvel booth where I think something is happening. Huh? Right? Maybe one of the actors from a movie or something? Anyway, that's the excitement you could be having if you were here with me, looking near it. Huh? Maybe guessing what might be there. Oh, look at that. Little Todd McFarlane's here doing a signature. And I wish I knew that. I might have gotten in line to see Mr. Todd get a sketch or something. It's probably way too late now. Fan only, which I do not have. They said they're signing until 6:30, so you could check back later. And I might. I don't have anything for Todd to sign, but he is the first artist I remember knowing the name of. And he certainly had an influence on me throughout my life, so it'd be cool to get a picture of him, shake his hand. I don't know, maybe if I had to buy a $20 book to do it might be worth it. The IDW booth where they have pins that they sell each day, different designs. They had a G1 Bumblebee pin that I got, and I saw they had a shiny chrome metal ROM, the Space Knight pin, yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I missed it. They're like, we got some left. Here you go. So I got me a ROM pin too. Boy, something about the backwards hat is making me feel very, what? This is a booth I walked by quickly the other day when I was like, there's so much to look at, it's so great. It's a lot of Hot Toys, 6-scale figures that, you know, go for $200 a piece or whatever, a lot of statues, a lot of Star Wars, and they have this like House of the Dead or something, I forget what it's called, but it's like a unique series to them, and it's all just really expensive stuff. I always like coming over here and looking, knowing that I will never buy any of it, but it's definitely nice. I guess these are from Injustice, the video game. Not really my favorite designs, but you know, accurate representations in toy form. This is my taste. I'm not getting it, but the chromey goodness. So the chrome. That's crazy. That would be my coffee table. 6-scale figures are nuts. I mean, they're great, but I don't know how big a house you would have to have any amount of these. I guess you would just get one and it would like be the showpiece for your whole room or something. I guess I wasn't showing well enough to scale. Look at my hand. So that's like, I don't know, 3 feet tall maybe? Marvel movie stuff. Planet Hulk, jeez. Pretty awesome. And then over here there's Guardians of the Galaxy, and that Ghost Rider's pretty nice too. They're good toys is what I'm saying. They're nice. I'm over in the video game area. I was mainly here for Q looking for Overwatch stuff from Blizzard, but it's cool that they have like these, well they have, I don't know what this is exactly, keychains and stuff obviously, but I don't know what it's supposed to be a part of, but they have all these sort of indie games, indie being a loose term, but I have them set up in arcade cabinets, and I guess it's the sort of stuff you normally just download on Steam or whatever. It's kind of a fun thing. Something you more see at like PAX or something like that, but there's, you know, always a little bit of taste of every pop culture thing, which is why Comic-Con is a pop culture celebration and not a comic convention, and hasn't been since I've been coming here. I'm not saying that in a nasty way, just in a factual way. Being said, here is a artist signing comic style art of his video game character, so crossover. I love this family that does not give a crap about the sign. Good for you. It's Mega Man. Check it out, it's a statue of Can Job. I remember him. He sells soup. So there's the dragon I'm going to be jumping on. There's a bunch of people over there trying out the game, which I guess is Shadow of War, which I'm actually not that interested in. I just want a cool picture on a dragon. They're going to make a GIF out of it, apparently. It's a pretty short line, about a half hour, so I was right to wait till the end of the day. This will be the last thing I do. And great, well done me. Clearly I am now the mother of dragons. Got a little less than a half hour left for the show floor being open, so I am going to head to Comic Book Legal Defense Fund area. Specifically, a buddy of mine wants a pin they have. I wondered about how to do cosplay in terms of how, you know, like some people stand out front or meet up with gatherings, but what I've seen here, like with this Harley Quinn, she just posted up near the DC booth next to a Harley Quinn statue. That makes perfect sense. I similarly saw some Overwatch cosplayers posting up near the Blizzard booth near Overwatch. So that makes sense rather than wandering around hoping people want to take your picture or blocking up traffic elsewhere. All right, I'm heading out. I got 10 more minutes till they kick me out of the show floor, but I feel like if I go now, I could avoid a lot of crowds. And even though I'm not going directly home, I would rather not have to deal with those crowds. I will scan my scanner, and I'm free to leave. I think this is Petco Park, and this is near the stadium. This might be the other side of where the buses are. I don't know. I know they always have events here, and I've never once even looked into them. They're usually music or, I don't know. It seems like a thing that is loud and I don't want to be a part of, but other people enjoy immensely. I'm looking for a store that sells things based on an 80s cartoon, because I'm a baby man. I'm at Skeletor's lair, and they have a bunch of production samples of the upcoming figures, and they look awesome. I should have known that. And a sword is stabbing it. No, I don't want. Some of these characters, they just look like repaints of others, but then we got like the guy from the Masters of the Universe movie. I think he maybe from She-Ra, I don't remember, but I want him regardless. And now they go back in the vault, like the treasures they are. This is something that tempts me to get. It's an old-fashioned vinyl case to put the reaction figures in, and I love the art on these reaction cards, but unfortunately I can't afford to collect another line, but if I did, I'd absolutely be getting this. I'm probably going to get a shirt while I'm here. They've got some cool retro shirts like that. The vintage. This is from the short they had done, and I guess this is the possessed vintage, it's a vintage style, and then this is the exclusive color. Yeah, they got a couple different versions, and it looks like the newest is it. This is like the classics line, and then this is similar to the original line, but done with modern sculpting and detailing, more accurate to filmation, which is fantastic. But between that and the reaction, that means and not even including the little muscle figures, that's 3 separate Masters lines at the same time, which is fantastic, but is all the more depressing that we can't get one Thundercats line to stay.
Just like the old Castle Grayskull sticker.
The last day for this store. This is the Super 7 pop-up store. They are going to have another pop-up store, but this is the Skeletor's lair, which they've had the last couple years. It's just a lot of fun to go to. I end up not buying stuff a lot of times. This time I got a Hordak shirt because I just wanted to spend some money. You're wrong, it's a good shirt, but I don't think it's an exclusive or anything. I could have waited and got it. I guess I saved shipping. But what's really cool with 2 things. One, those figures I showed you which are production prototype samples, not been seen anywhere. I'm the second person to see them outside of the people that work there. Like, they literally had just got that shipment, I think yesterday or the day before. Except for Pixel Dan, who is in my opinion, famous YouTuber who does toy reviews. I knew him originally from the Masters of the Universe Classics line, and he does other stuff too. He was in there reviewing them, putting his hands on them, and I heard the voice, and I'm like, is that Pixel Dan? And it was, and he was a nice guy, and he took a picture with me because I'm a big dork, and here's that picture. Anyway, I am walking to the bus now, and I think that is the end of my Comic-Con day. I'm tired. I'm tired and sweaty, but not as bad as yesterday. I don't know why, but I just don't feel as exhausted. Maybe because I'm not carrying huge bags of stuff today, but I'm regular tired, whereas yesterday I want to die tired. Guys, tell me, is it? Oh, it's following me. It's following me. Still not going over there, but near the bus station you can see the Lich King's Ice Cream Citadel. That's pretty funny. I did it, I made it, bus. Didn't have to wait on the line. Probably have to wait for the bus to go, but I prefer that so I can sit down in the air conditioning for a few minutes rather than sitting in line for a few minutes. I had a really good day today. I didn't get a lot of exclusives, didn't go to any panels, didn't meet any celebrities, but just had kind of a chill, fun day hanging out with Q and our buddy Jeff, and I picked up a few things, talked to a bunch of artists, and met Pixel Dan. Yeah, I enjoyed today more than yesterday, which is, on paper, should be reversed.
All right, so let's look at what we got at the con today. Well, I got this free Voltron Legendary Defender poster from the Entertainment Earth booth. No purchase necessary. From the Viz Media booth, I got this Boruto poster tube with the poster of it inside. This is the Power Ranger figure I told you about from the Bandai booth, which is the same as the Build-A-Figure you could have gotten by collecting the whole set, which I didn't want to collect, but with much better paint. So I'm happy to have that. And that came with a free Dragon Ball comic, Super and Regular, which I got for Q. And then over here,
Then I got these vinyl stickers from an artist. It was a good deal. It was 4 for $10, and they're nice, high-quality stickers with his own designs. I went ahead and got Grimlock, Dragonzord, and Mechagodzilla, and then to top it off, I got the Megazord. If he had another dinosaur-type monster, I would have got that. Also got this cool lenticular Green Ranger, White Ranger print. I think, yeah, you can see it on video, how he changes. He's the Green Ranger with the Dragonzord, and you move. And he's the White Ranger with the Tiger Zord. They had a couple different designs. Here's Q's, which is Gohan and Super Saiyan mode. These are really awesome, and they were only $20 each, which is about the same price some people charge for regular prints. So it's pretty cool. I saw these at the San Jose Toy Show. Didn't get one, regretted it. Saw them again at this show. Much smaller display. Only had 5 lenticulars, whereas at the San Jose Toy Show they probably had 10 or 20. Both times it was not the actual artist, just a representative, which is odd. And I found out that they don't sell them online, so I was glad I saw it again because I really wanted to get one. I thought it was cool technology. And as you saw into the Tick booth, the main thing I wanted was this hat. It's a pretty cool hat. It just says the Tick, but the antenna are the best part. And then I got this little wristband and an iPhone 7 Tick case, which I cannot use yet, but maybe in the future. So that's everything I got for me. I picked up a few more things for the big dog. And like I said, my buddy Roy and Q got a ton of art prints and things from people that is put away somewhere, so I'm not going to go dig it out. And just generally had a relaxing isn't quite the right word, but less frenzied, less frenetic day. My throat is shot. It's just every day gets a little bit worse. Tomorrow is Saturday. My plan is to get there early in the morning. I don't know if I'm going to succeed because it is after 1 in the morning now. We went out after I got back and we went to go see Spider-Man Homecoming, which I had not seen, which was great. My favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, hands down, no problem. And yeah, so this is going to be the end of the video. I'm just going to come over here and bed.